Hello dear World of Warcraft friends, patch 12.1 of World of Warcraft Midnight is here and you can actually get 3 or 5 gear this week, but only once. This is the best loot you can get in the first week and I'll show you how to get it. Of course, as always in World of Warcraft, it's a bit luck dependent with the loot pools, whether you get a good item or a bad item, but it's definitely worth trying. Let's get started. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you want, I'd really appreciate it. We're well on our way to 38,000. That would be awesome. So let's get started. What you need to do for this is pretty simple. This whole thing has to do with the vaults of Atal'Utek, and since there was some confusion about it, it's really the best loot you can get. Right now we have the Mythic Zero dungeons open, where item level 292 gear drops. You can still get 279 items from area reputation vendors and upgrade them to 295. That's possible too. However, you need some veteran crests for that. Yes, those are your options. That means you can't get very far with that, except with the chambers or the vault. The first thing you need to do for that is pretty simple. Just unlock the Twisted Island. When you're on your way there and following the quest line, you'll eventually come across the chambers of Atal'Utek. And then the whole thing will be unlocked for you. However, I have to say it's incredibly confusing. At least for the first few days, some things were bugged. You were supposed to do strikes. Nobody had any idea what these strikes were, how to unlock a commander, and so on. So it was interesting. Let's hope that by the time this video is released, everything has been fixed. But if you've unlocked these chambers, you'll then get a weekly quest. You can see here, this is all part of the campaign, the battle for Atal'Utek, and you can see that here as well. This is the first finale here, Curse of Utec. 5 out of 6. So not the finale, but it's right before it, that's what I mean. From that point on, the whole thing applies. From there, you can play it. As you can see, I haven't played it yet. Shame on me, whatever. That's where you'll actually be introduced to the dungeon, so the Altar of Vengeance. After that, you have to heal Suljara here. The raid is included there. And there's a quest, Walls of Atal'Utek, a Toxic Tor. This quest requires you to complete a patrol, a strike here, complete an incursion, and defeat a primordial enemy within the walls. And as I said, there was still some confusion about that. These incursions should just pop up on your map. And as I understood it, these ancient foes should also be marked on the map after such a strike was completed. But they were sometimes bugged. It was pretty wild. And here in the comments on Wowhead, players have already been complaining in droves that without news sites and other things, no one would have any idea how all these things work and interact. But when you have this quest, you see here you get 2 corrosive souls, you get a venom cursed fragment, corrosive coins. With those you can buy more of these powers and a Trove Hunter's bounty. And that's what you want for the item. These treasure maps, or rather, this is the treasure map that allows you to get heroic gear from a delve. And if you're thinking, wait a minute, there aren't any bountiful delves yet. That's true, but you don't need that for this extra chest to drop. That's not possible yet. So we can also see here at the vendor, this item which you would normally use to buy the thing that summons the Nemesis boss, which then guarantees you get such a treasure map, doesn't even exist yet. So it's not even in the loot pool yet. And also from what I've read, I think it's still not possible to trigger the treasure maps like that. At least I haven't seen anyone do it yet. If I'm wrong about this, please feel free to correct me. But that's your way, your option to guarantee getting such a treasure map. What you want to do next is grind delves, because the treasure map reaches its full potential the higher the delve tier you run. Nothing has changed here either. You get the maximum item level in level 8 delves. So it doesn't matter here whether you go 11, 10, 9 or 8. It has to be at least 8. So you can get a 305 item. And as I said, bountiful delves are not available yet. Just find the delve that's fastest for you, the one you enjoy the most. Whatever, I don't care. Make sure the treasure map is activated. You'll see it by the buff up here and also because the item is no longer in your bag. And then at the end of the dungeon run, the chest will spawn here. Normally only these green chests drop right now because, as I said, bountiful delves aren't available yet. But when you've done that, using the treasure map with the chest, you'll be guaranteed to get a 305 item, as we can see here. And in this case, someone was lucky and even got a trinket. If you get a chest piece there and you get a better chest from Mythic 0, you can of course upgrade it to 305 as well without needing any crest for it, right? So the whole thing is from the Delves loot pool. Most of the time the trinkets there aren't that good. But especially for the other slots, getting a 315 item is already possible. That's basically the hero track. That's already pretty strong, and theoretically, if you feel like it, you can repeat it with every character. Because playing the campaign that far, so that you get this weekly, you only have to do it once. So you do it with one character, do the weekly, grab the chest in the delve, and after that you can basically log onto an alt and automatically accept the weekly, because you can skip quests there, etc. And then the whole thing starts all over again. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it a little bit. If you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. See you in the next video, have a great time and take care.